We're with SPU women's basketball coach Julie Heisey, and we're also at halftime on the GNAC basketball schedule. Coach, just some thoughts on the first half of the season so far as we've gotten through the first 9 games of GNAC play.
It went fast. And also long, because this is the first time for us that we've started GNAC conference games in the 1st of December. Mm-hmm. So Western Washington and Simon Fraser seem like a long time ago from December 1st and 2nd. But, I like where our team's at. Obviously, we lost in overtime the other night, and that was disappointing, to say the least. But, the good thing is that, we have today. It's not like it's in a season and we can't work on it. So we have things to work on, but I think our team's young. As much as we've had 11 returners, I think as we've gone through the season, I realize, we're relying a lot on 3 sophomores, and we're relying a lot on a freshman, as well as our 3 seniors, and even, Joni and Rachel. They're pretty young in their playing experience. So some ways that tells the story a little bit, because I think when you are that young, you still are inconsistent. And I think we've done a good job of trying to be more consistent, but obviously we need to do better. But anyway, I think our conference is very good. And right now, we have a new test this week again with St. Martin's in Western Oregon.
Any particular win during the first half of the season that was especially satisfying for you and this particular team?
Well, I think Western Washington, of course. We hadn't won there for 3 years, and we came in and were very confident and aggressive, and Western has a good team, and so it's always a big deal, I think, to play well there and to win. And I thought we did. I thought we played a very complete game, and we did a really good job. And then I think, just even last week when we played, or 2 weeks ago when we played Central Washington, it was 45-45 at halftime, and then being able to come out the second half and really change some things defensively and just tighten up and then continue to have an attacking offensive presence. And so I thought that was a good indicator of just how far we've come.
You often talk as a measure of success is how a team comes together as a team. Where is this particular group in that process of coming together?
Well, we're not there yet, but I'm really pleased. I look at part of the journey of a team is that you have to have shared experiences, and I think when you have a lot of young people, you're looking around and you're like, okay, that person that I counted on last year, Maddie or Caitlin, isn't there. And I think some of our seniors have to realize, okay, Maddie and Caitlin aren't there, so who am I relying on now? And so I think just going through the season and having those experiences of coming from behind and coming back, or knowing that, we can start together and finish together, all those things make you stronger. So I really am pleased, because I look back to where we were, I think the week after finals, after we'd lost to Chico, and we were disappointed, and kind of where we're at. And I just think our practices and our effort and our attitude has been so much more consistent, and we're just more cohesive. And I think that's a big thing. Now we still have ways to go, because we still have to learn, I think, to be consistent every day on defense and be able to maintain our intensity and all those things. As we continue to do that, each person, that's going to help build trust and confidence in our team.
You've got 3 new starters this year. You've got Rachel Murray, you've got Katie Benson, and Aubrey Callan. Talk about how this particular 5 is blending together out there as the season goes along.
Well, I think, and I'm going to include Michaela, even though she's not new, as a starter, because I just feel so much that your top 6 or 7 kids are always in that same group.
Sure.
But I think that, Aubrey and Aubrey and Katie and Rachel have done a really good job. I think they've been super consistent. Rachel started off the season, I think, as one of our most consistent players every day, and I think she still is. She does so many things sometimes that you don't see. I think just watching her against Hingston the other night from NNU, Hingston came in as the conference leading scorer, and Rachel really did a good job of playing strong defense and not allowing her to penetrate and get easy shots. I think Aubrey has been pretty steady, and she's done a great job passing, and then when we need that 3, she's able to come up with it. But again, I think she's growing in her confidence and just learning what it means to be ready every day, and it's a different game at the college level. And Katie, she's, as a sophomore, she's been our leading scorer, which is pretty amazing. We haven't had that since Kelsey Hill, as a sophomore. And so again, I think it's just when you're the top scorer, it's a little bit different than when you're a freshman and people don't quite know who you are, and people are you know, putting pressure on you and trying to really scout you and make a difference. And I think, you know, Katie's been consistent and really been there for us every game. And so I think that's, you know, what we're still working on that, you know, with everybody, because it is about consistency. And as we go on through this next half of the season, it's just, you know, we have to be more consistent on every play and every possession.
And the bench bunch. I mean, every night you've got a kid or two coming off and delivering in a big way. Maybe it's big numbers, or maybe just a timely shot or a timely stop. And talk about some of those kids and the role they played this year.
Well, I think, you know, early, especially Betsy, I mean, she's been doing a great job now, but her rebounding and her scoring were just so big for us because, you know, you don't have that person coming off the bench that has a lot of experience. And so it's like, how are they going to respond? And I think Betsy's been super consistent for us and just been ready. And then I think, you know, Joni at different times has come in and been able to change some things defensively or hit that hook shot that we need. And, you know, like you said, just at a timely moment to kind of ignite a run. And then Susanna's been, as a freshman, given us a good spark. You know, I think just knowing that she can come in and put, you know, relieve Naisha and put some pressure on the ball, use her quickness to, you know, get a steal. And then, you know, she's a really great passer, but also, you know, doing a good job finding a way to hit that open shot when we need it. So, I don't know. They've been, our kids have done a good job, that's for sure. And I mean, you can go farther in the bench even with Katie and Michelle coming off and giving us a spark when needed, especially when we need some extra defense.
We've seen everybody in the GNAC once, and we're halfway through the conference schedule. What are some of the challenges you see coming up in the second half as we get into conference play?
Well, I think like last year, I think we're just seeing there's a lot of parity in the conference, and we have a lot of youth in the conference, but on any given night, anybody can get beat, you know, because obviously Simon Fraser beat Anchorage, St. Martin's beat Simon Fraser, you know, Billings came in and beat us, and I think that you just have to be ready every single night, and knowing that any team, they're all good shooters, and you can't give people open shots, and you got to make sure that you get stops. And then I think just recognizing too that on the road, you know, you got to take care of the little things offensively with lowering turnovers and hitting shots, hitting those free throws, because there's just not much margin for error. And so I think that's our challenge this week as we go to Western Oregon and St. Martin's, is just making sure that we can tighten up those little areas, turnovers, rebounds, things like that, to make sure that you're not giving people second opportunities.
And as we look at the St. Martin's and Western Oregon games, any particular challenge they pose? Obviously, Western Oregon has a very good score. St. Martin's, as you say, beat Simon Fraser on St. Martin's home court, so these are tough places to play.
Well, I think St. Martin's, defensively, they always are hard because they play a matchup zone that is just kind of makes you stand, and you lose momentum, and it's not the same, you know, same matchup zone that we see anybody else play. So I think you're just learning to adjust to that and making sure that we stay moving, because we don't want to start staying on offense. And I think just recognizing again that they're all penetrators. And with that, you know, we got to be aware of every possession that, you know, they're going to drive on us. And if we got to be in position, we got to have help. Otherwise, we're going to put them on the free throw line, or we're going to give up a layup. And in some ways, it's the same with Western Oregon, because, you know, they're playing 5 guards, and their post player is their leading 3-point shooter, and just, you know, poses matchup problems.